jump rope, we are going to be going over our jump rope basics today. Jump rope is fun. It's not easy, but it is great for you. Maybe one of the best, if not the best, exercises for you to do. It teaches you coordination. It really helps your heart and your lungs. Okay, and it's a great overall exercise because it works every single muscle in your body. And like I said before, really good for your coordination. Super for young people to old. It's great to do. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and this may be your first time seeing this, to go over some of the jump rope basics and the best way to learn how to jump rope. Or you may be coming back and watching this again, or kind of using this as a review or a refresher for our PE classes. Because we've taught some of this before, but it's always really good to come back and just make sure that everything that you're doing is back on track, okay? Because that's important. Jack Nicklaus, one of the greatest, if not the greatest golfers ever, okay? When he would get done with his season and take some time off, and before the next PGA season would start, he'd go see his instructor, and the first thing they worked on which was his grip. So that seems super basic, like a professional golfer and someone who's won 18 majors and done all this stuff would go back to his grip. And that's all about going back to your basics. Sometimes you have to check your fundamentals. And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to talk about some things with the jump rope, how you can make it successful for you, and also review and maybe doing some things that you aren't doing quite as well, or you're messing up with some of your jumps, and how we can fix those or get you back on track. Maybe something super simple that you can find out real quick, okay? So remember, jump rope is not easy, okay? This is a hard thing with the coordination and the jumping and everything that's going on. It takes practice. So it is okay to mess up. It is okay to keep trying and keep going until you get it. But I promise you, if you do work hard at it and you continue to practice, you will get what you need to get out of it, okay? And you will learn maybe one particular jump you're having struggling with, and then you keep going and going and going, and pretty soon it's super easy. You don't even have to think about it anymore, and you move on to your next one. With our PE classes, we're going to have like 5 or 6 different levels of our jumping. You're going to start off with what we call our silver level. You're going to move up to gold level, then to platinum level, then to diamond level, then double diamond, etc. And every level you move up, the jumps may get a little bit different. Some may be easier, some may be harder. Most of the time we try to make them a little bit more difficult, just with our timing and our coordination with it. But as you move up, the jumps get different. And so the great thing about it is you're never stale. You're never doing the same thing over and over again. You're always doing some different jumps and trying to push yourself to become better, okay? The key to this is never giving up. That is the most important thing in everything we do in our PE classes. And all the skills that you learn, whether you're throwing or catching or running or jumping or doing things like jump rope, I don't expect you to be able to do it right away. It takes work and effort. And once you do it, you'll be fine. Just never give up with it, okay? So here we go. We're going to start with our jump rope basics. All right, first, most important thing that I see a lot of our students doing wrong is that they jump rope with their feet apart or at a staggered stance, and they're going over to try and do this with the jump rope and doing all, or jumping too wide, okay? Things like that. First of all, we need our feet together, okay? Doesn't have to be touching, but they should be just barely apart, okay? Feet together. One of the most important things, if not the most important thing when we're jumping rope. And this is, we're just talking about our basic jump rope right now. Granted, there's exercise like you just saw me do where we're doing different things with our feet. But for now, we're going to talk about just our basic single bounce jump where our feet need to be together. Also, we're going to take our knees, we're going to slightly bend them. So this is me super stiff. This is me overly bent, too much. I'm just going to go in between. So just a little bit of a flexion in your knee, okay, to give yourself opportunity to jump up a little bit and also to catch yourself when your legs hit, okay? Very, very important that we have a little bit of flexion in our knees. If you look at my jump rope, and this is a little thicker jump rope, I'll go to my regular jump rope, okay? You look right there, and you see how small it is, okay? Right there. If you look at right when I take my fingers, I go right there. That is the height that you have to jump. The big thing I see a lot of you doing is that you take these big jumps to go over the rope. A couple things that aren't good about that. Number one, whenever you jump that high, you can lose your balance. Two, it's tough to keep the rope going when you're jumping that high. Okay, you don't need to jump that high. They really shouldn't even call it jump roping. They should call it jump bouncing, because you're just basically going to bounce. Your feet are going to hit the ground and barely go up in the air. So they're going to be like this. That's how you jump rope. You notice my feet are barely coming off, but they are coming off the ground high enough to clear this jump rope. Okay. When I get a bigger jump rope, this jump rope right now weighs 2 pounds. Use this for strengthening. I still only have to jump this high off the ground to get up and over it. So you don't need gigantic jumps, because what I see is a lot of you will get off balance when you do that. Okay, you start jumping, you start landing like this, and it's tough to do. So you only want to jump just barely off the ground. Notice when I jump rope, watch my feet, I'm not taking big bounces. And it's the same thing I was doing when we did that. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little bit of a practice. We're going to practice bouncing. Okay, so let's all do this together. Stand up for me. Get into a spot where you can do this where nothing's around you, so you're not going to bump into anything. I want your feet together. I want your knees slightly bent. You can put your hands at your hips. You can put your hands at your sides, whatever you want to do. Some people, you may want to pretend like you're holding the jump rope. We'll talk about our grip and how we hold the jump rope in a little bit. So feet together, knees bent. All we're going to do is bounce together for about 30 seconds. Ready? Go. Just keep bouncing. Not big jumps, just bounces. Bounce, 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 bounce. I want you to feel like you're on the balls of your feet, which means when you're bouncing, we're landing right there, okay? We're not back on our heels. We're not all the way on our tippy toes. We're just right there in the middle of our feet, bouncing. 3 more seconds. Keep going. Stop. Excellent job. We're going to do that a couple times so we get used to it, okay? So that's very, very important, is feet together, knees bent, and we're bouncing. We are not jumping. We are not getting height at this point in time. There are some jumps we do where you got to get up a little bit higher in order for us to do different things with the rope. But for now, we're just going to learn the basic jump rope, okay? One of the other jumps we do in our silver level is a 1-foot jump, okay? One of the things I see with 1-foot jumps is people start doing it. Once again, they get their legs out here. They're trying to go too high. You get off balance, okay? If you notice when I bounce, all I'm going to do is pick my foot up, basically in the same spot. Look at my right foot. It's still bouncing. Switch it. I'm just still bouncing. But my balance is going to be kept because I try to keep this foot as close to my other leg as possible in the same spot where if I put it down, I'd still be doing the 2-foot bounce. You notice my knee is forward, it's not to the side, okay? My foot isn't out, all right? I'm balanced. If you notice, my body does not lean one direction or the other. So right now, we're gonna do 1-foot bounces. We're gonna start off with 2, we're gonna move the 1, we're gonna go to the other foot. Notice my body is not all over the place. It's just one spot, okay? So here we go, 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. 2-foot bounce. Feel it. Now go to 1 foot. We're gonna do this for like 10 seconds. Hold it there, just small little bounces. Small little bounces. Keep going. Keep going. Switch feet. Good. Keep going on it. Excellent. 4 seconds, and then we're going to go back to both feet. Go. Bounce, 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 and stop. Excellent job. Okay, get yourself a drink of water. If you have some water, get a drink. It's always good to keep hydrated. Okay, that's important. Now, we're going to talk about how we hold the rope and where we put the rope in accordance to our body and how we get this rope going around us with a good arc so we can jump. Remember, we went back to the Jack Nicklaus story. Jack always started with his grip. Okay, we're going to talk about our grip with our rope. Okay, when we grip a jump rope, it is very important that if you see my hand right here, you see the part where my fingers come out of my palm area or my hand area. Okay, right here, this line is where I want to put my jump rope, right there. So my fingers go around it. I don't want the jump rope way back in my hand like this. It's tough for me to use my wrist that way. The more I get the jump rope in my fingertips, the more I can use my wrist, because jump roping is all about your wrist. Okay, so we're going to do our grip. We're going to take it, we're going to place it right along those fingers, and we're going to turn our fingers over with it. Now, there's two different types of grips you can use. You can use a split grip, which means I'm going to take my thumb and put it here, and as you can see, there's a space between my thumb and my last finger, which really works good for most of your jump ropes. The other way to do is an interlocking grip, where I take my thumb and I take my finger over it like this. This is more when you use it for, or you take your thumb on the other side, when you have something, a super heavy rope. But right now, right there is fine. You can take your thumb and put it down your handle. As you can see, just like that, take my thumb, I put it down my handle, and I've got a split grip. And once again, the handle is inside of my fingers. That way I can move my wrist better, okay? Very important. All right. This is the biggest thing we're going to learn today with our jump rope, besides our little bouncing, okay, is where to put our hands. First of all, we've got the rope in both of our fingers. We're closing it. We're ready to go. And you notice when I do that, and I put my palms up to the sky, and I have my thumbs pointing out, I'm ready to jump rope, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the knob of the jump rope right here, and I'm going to put it against my hips. Okay, you notice where it's against my hips right here. Okay, it's not in front, it's not behind, it's right here in the middle of my hips and in my legs right there, ready to go. Okay, that is where I want to start with my jump rope position every time until it becomes a habit. So before I jump rope, I'm always going to set up. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to take my hands out 6 to 12 inches away from my body. So I go here, and I go right there, and I'm now ready to jump rope. Okay? Don't go too wide. Now, we have something called the arc. The arc is where you see my jump rope is right now. It's in an arc right now, which gives me, look at all this space I have to jump through this rope. Okay? And the rope is on the ground, so all I got to do is just bound over it. Okay? You see that? Watch when I put my hands close to my body. Okay? My arc is less. That's not good. Also, when I put my hands further away from my body, look what happens to my jump rope. It goes up in the air. And now I got to jump all the way up here to clear it, which is now we're getting off balance. Now we're not good shape. And now I'm using my arms, which we should not use our arms when we jump rope. Our arms are not going to move, which we'll talk about in a second. So we got hands to hips, 6 inches away, and I'm perfect. Okay? So everybody do that for me. Grab your jump rope. Okay? Put your jump rope, if you want, behind you or in front of you, wherever you want. I want you to put your hands into your hips and then go right there until you're nice and balanced. Perfect. Okay? Excellent job. Okay? 6 to 12 inches from your hips, and you are in really, really good shape here. Okay? If you notice, when I'm doing the side view, you notice that my elbows, okay, are tucked back behind me. Here's my elbows. They're back behind me when I do this. Okay? They're not to the side, because if they're to the side, look where my hands are. They're not in front of me, because now my arms are straight. Okay? They're tucked 2 inches, 6 inches out. They're tucked behind me. They need to stay there the whole time where I'm jumping. My elbows cannot move. Also, if you notice my shoulders are back too. Okay? My shoulders are back, and I'm ready to go. Okay? Here, out, there. All right? Shoulder blades are black. Hands got to be in line with your body. Okay? So when I jump rope, you notice, look at my elbows right now. They are not moving. Look at my shoulders right now. They are not moving. Look at my arms right now. They are not moving from the side. All I'm doing is moving my wrist. Okay? One of the biggest problems that we see is our jump ropers move their entire arms like this. We cannot move arms. We're not doing big arm circles. All we're doing is wrist. Here, side, wrist. That's it. Look at my elbow. It's not moving. Look at my shoulders, not moving. My arm's not straightening out. It's staying in one spot. Okay? The other problem we want to fix is, once again, our hands out to the side. We cannot have our hands go in front of us when we jump rope. I can't jump here because look where the rope just hit. When the rope hits in front of us, it's going to hit the ground, bounce up, and hit our shins. How many times have you jumped rope? I'll see if I can do this here. When you go to jump, and well, let's try it again. How many times you jump rope when you go to jump, and it does that? That's because your hands have gone in forward and they're not off your side of your hips. Okay? So you got to keep the side of your hips ready to go. So if you have a problem with all of a sudden the rope bouncing up and hitting your feet or hitting your shins, it's because your hands went forward. They weren't at your hip. So always remind yourself, hands on my hips. Very, very, very important. Also, okay, you have to make sure that your hands are equal. They're symmetrical, which means I can't have one hand in front of the other. I can't have one arm up, one arm down, okay? Because everything I do creates a different arc on my foot. If I've got one arm out and one arm in, look what it does to my rope. I'm going to hit like this because this one's further away, okay? So I want them equal. Okay, my arms are relaxed. They're just right there. I'm just using all wrists with the bounce. Okay, very, very important we do that. Take a little break, get a drink. Get a drink. All right, good job. Get your drink, get your water, take a little break. We're doing a lot of stuff here. I know this may be a little bit boring, but you got to be able to do it. You really got to work on the hand placement, okay? Once again, you do not need a lot of arm movement. We don't want our full arms going. We want our elbows tucked back, and we just want our wrists going. Okay, we need to relax our shoulders, relax our elbows, okay, and just use our wrists. When you relax your shoulders and elbows, they work as what we call a counterbalance for your wrist, okay, rotation. That's going to be getting going with the rope speed, okay? When you start moving this, I can't move my wrists at the same time. It's all going to be wrist. So the faster I want to jump, the more my wrists has got to go, the more stable my elbows got to be. Okay, if I move my arm, that's slow, okay? This and this being stable and relaxed creates me to do this. Once this moves, I can't do this at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. So I got to counterbalance by keeping the other stuff ready to go. Small wrist circles when we take our hands. So what I want you guys to do now, okay? And now your first jump, it does take a little bit more arm to get it going, okay? But all I want you to do right now is take it right there and just try to use your wrist to get over and see if you can finish with your elbows back. Let's try it together. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Again, let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Use your wrists. Use your wrists. Don't move your arms. The thing that can help you is if you have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, who's ever living with you, take out your phone or iPad or something and film you. So you can see, are you jumping rope? Are your arms moving or is your elbow stable? That's a key. Also, you can go old school and just do it in front of a mirror if you have time, if you have a space. Okay, you can even practice in front of the mirror this way versus that way. This is what we want to get rid of. We don't want our arms moving. We want our wrists moving with our shoulders back and our elbows back. Notice my elbow's not moving when I do this. It's not doing this, okay? Very, very, very important. All right, so we're going to start doing a little bit of jumping, okay? We're gonna do 3 jumps, which is just really bounces, right? So we're gonna do 3 times and then stop. Here we go, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Good. Again, 3 more, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Stop and look at the camera or look at the video and watch me. I want you to watch. I'm going to do things twice. The first one, I want you to watch my feet. I'm going to do 3. Ready? Go. Watch my feet. Did I jump high? Were my feet apart? No. Feet were together. I did slight little bounces to get over the rope. Now, I want you to watch my hands, my arms. Are my arms moving big? or is it my wrist moving? Ready? 3 of them, go. I'll do even more. You guys see that? So my arms are not moving, my wrists are moving. All right, so we are going to try 30 seconds of jump rope right now. We're going to keep going for 30 seconds, okay? Once again, let's start off with our wrists right here. Go out 6 to 12 inches. Find a good spot to go, okay? Use your wrist rotation. Once you get the rope going, you don't even have to move your wrist a whole lot. It'll just start moving by itself, okay? Feet together, knees bent. We're bouncing, we're not jumping, and we're not moving our arms. Let's try this together. 30 seconds straight of jump rope. Ready? Go. I'll try to turn to the side so you can see it. Look at my elbows, look at my shoulders, look at my wrist. Okay? Come back at you. 15 seconds. Keep it going. 5 seconds. Once again, look at my arms, not moving. There's no movement in my arms. Stop. Whatsoever. I've stayed here the whole time. Okay? The only thing I can look at myself and go, oh, look what happened. My arms got a little bit in front of me. That's not good. I need to have my arms back a little bit, something I have to work on too. Okay? That was great. Let's do another 30 seconds of jumping. Line up every time. Feet together, knees bent, here, out 6 inches, and go. A little bit faster. I'm not going to move my arms. I'm just going to move my wrist a little faster. Slow it down. Smaller arm, smaller wrist circles. Speed it up, 5 seconds. And stop. Great job. Okay? Whatever jump you are going to be learning with your jump rope, whether I'm doing 1 foot, I'm doing alternate foot, okay? So if I'm doing alternate foot, look at my arms. Nothing changes. If I'm doing 1 foot, nothing changes. If I'm going jump rope jacks, it's always the same movement, okay? Arms are always here, always, okay? Elbows are always back. Shoulders are always back a little bit. That's important. You guys did great today. I'm proud of you. Let's keep working. Spend the next few days really working hard on just the mechanics of it. Don't worry about so much the jump roping part of it. Worry about how I'm going to move my jump rope, okay? Then we will move on next time to some different things and learn how different jumps should be fun. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you later.